Okay, Colleen, take it away.
All right, bienvenidos, bienvenidas. Arlene de Berkeley, California. La mujer con el iPad, I don't know your name. Ruth Birmingham, UK. Busy Graham, Kevin Day. 923 New Hampshire, USA. All rhyming. Susan Miller, Seattle. Sheila, Florida. Oy, Florida, in the heart. Luther and Mark, Victoria, BC, Cricket, Sarah Page, Texas, Becky, Fred Stolenitz, Silver Spring, Maryland, Ola Fred, Annette Piron, Carolyn Boise, Day 923, Kathy in Virginia, Susan G, Delhi, Aloysius Yanis, Westford, Mass, Margaret Wells, Steve and Michelle, Schuster, Silver Spring, Storm, hello Storm, Mabel's laptop, Massachusetts. I'm going to the other page and there's Becky, Annette Piron. I might say your name twice, maybe not. Gary Pausner, Solutions Finder, Jenny, Suffolk, UK, and Caroline in DC, Bob Albany, New York, cerca de mí. Another iPad and LMG, Loriana, Katrina, Courtney, Vermont, hello. Sandy E. Western, North Carolina. Loriana, Kachina, Courtney, Vermont, and Kat Cox in Vermont, and Lynn Cliff in Vermont, Nancy N with the cool cow on the cover, and Marilyn, some Mabel's laptop, hola Mabel, Jojo Rossi from the road, Martha Wagner, Margaret Wells. Let's see, Carolyn Boise, I think I said your name, but I said it again. Whose name did not I call? Let me see if I got us all. And from Maryland, that's Trish, Victoria. A ver, who else? Oh, I saw somebody I didn't see before. Connecting to audio. Kathy Glatz. Kathy Glatz. Welcome, Kathy. Bob in Massachusetts. Trish in Victoria. Who else did not I call? I'm singing it like it's a lullaby. I guess I'm just singing soft today. It's good to see your faces anyway. And we have a very special guest for you today. So, how's everybody doing? La vaca de la Irlanda. I know some of you speak some Spanish and know it because Spanglish is the language of the future, I think. Hi. All right. So welcome everyone. My name's Colleen Kata, and I've sung here a couple of two, three times, as they say in Central New York. And I'm really happy to be subbing in today for JoJo, and I'm thanking Jada for doing tech. We have a really special guest today, and I just want to let you know that if my video cuts out a little bit, I'll just kind of stop my video, and because I live in the boonies and we don't have the high tech yet that they're promising. So, but just welcome everyone. I'm really happy to. I love the genre Nueva Canción, and I'm a big singer of that. And I just, it's taught me a lot about history and about U.S. Part in that heinous history. And Nicaragua in particular, I could talk about it for a long time. But I'm here to introduce Elena La Fulana, and she is an amazing bilingual singer-songwriter, folk-based, Latin-based. She's done many exciting things as of lately, so her website doesn't show all that. So we'll be highlighting some of those things here today for sure. But her songs are about her two cultures, the US culture and the Nicaraguan culture, and all the ones that fit into those two overarching cultures. And So her recent project is she's working with a interesting band called a mariachi band, all women, all mujeres, Flor de Teloache, and which was their recent work was nominated for a Latin Grammy. She has a very interesting, I think, very timely PBS series coming up that she's part of the series on Dia de los Muertos, Dia de Muertos, which is the 2nd of November. It is not the 1st of November. It's the 2nd of November. And she's performed at the Kennedy Center. Um, and there's going to be some links in the chat to her work. And so I encourage you to check those out. And so without further someone's writing Nicaragua, Nicaraguita in the chat.
Yeah,
And
we could do
without,
that one.
yeah, I know we could. That's a great one to do. But without further ado, welcome, Elana. Just
Hi.
welcome to you. And
Thank you.
so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I hear you're going to start us off with a song.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna do. I've done a couple of originals while I've been here, but in the past. But today I thought maybe I could do a song that I have really connected with. I actually started. I I decided to do this. I was asked to do this with another Latina artist who was putting on a show at the Clarice here at University of Maryland, and she invited me to sing some stuff. We did it virtually at the beginning, and then we're doing it more live. And so she asked me to learn the song No Soy de Aquí ni Soy de Allá, which I connected very much to. As you all probably have heard, if you're connected to any immigrant communities, it's something that we say a lot because the feeling of kind of not fitting into either, culture, being too American for me in Nicaragua, I was like too American, and being when I'm in the States, I'm Latina, and I don't really feel like I totally fit in. And this is a feeling that's not unique to immigrants, but I think, it's definitely something that we feel very tangibly just because we have such kind of stark cultural differences. So I think the lyrics, will we put them in there? We're gonna learn
Mhm.
maybe the chorus together, and you'll use your Spanish skills today. So we can go through it slowly, and then we can sing the song together. So the chorus goes, no soy de aquí, ni soy de allá, no tengo edad ni por venir, y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá, no tengo edad ni por venir, y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. So what it's saying is, I'm not from here, nor am I from there. I don't have an age nor a past. And being happy is my color of identity. It's my way of identity, of identifying. So I think it's really cool. I don't know this as well, but this was popularized, at least the version that I saw was one that was by Chavela Vargas, who not only was an immigrant from Costa Rica to Mexico and became a great Mexican artist, but she was also, I think she would consider herself trans if she were around today. And so I think this song has like a lot of meanings in that way. So let's try it one more time all together. Now that we know what it's the lyrics, and then we can sing the whole song. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá, no tengo edad ni por venir, y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá, no tengo edad ni por venir, y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. All right, y'all ready to do this together? I can't see everybody, but I'm assuming everybody's saying, yeah. Okay, sounds good. All right, here goes. This is No Soy de Aquí Ni Soy de Allá, originally by Facundo Cabral. Me gusta el sol y la mujer cuando llora, las golondrinas y las malas señoras, abrir balcones y abrir las ventanas y las muchachas en abril. Me gusta el vino tanto como las flores y los amantes, pero no los señores. Me encanta ser amiga de los ladrones y las canciones en francés. Here goes. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá. No tengo edad ni por venir y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá. No tengo edad ni por venir y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. Me gusta estar tirada siempre en la arena, yo en bicicleta perseguir a Manuela y todo el tiempo para ver las estrellas con la María en el trigal. Todos. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá, no tengo edad ni por venir y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá, no tengo edad ni por venir y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. Yay, good job, everyone. How was that? How did everybody feel?
That was so beautiful, really beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad that you chose that song. Facundo Cabral, I love that song so much. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
beautiful.
it really is.
And it's really one of those songs that's been like reinterpreted a lot. And I just feel like it really takes on different meanings based on like kind of who's singing it, you know? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a really interesting song. And I don't know if you are familiar with Chavela Vargas, but she's just
No,
she's an incredible
yep,
interpreter.
I learned many years ago about Chavela Vargas through studying Latin America, and she was amazing. Like
It,
Jesusa Rodriguez, she's a theater person in Mexico, and there's a really great video of, she had kind of an underground theater, and she really helped to save Chabela, from
yeah,
uh,
there's a great documentary. I don't know if you've heard, if you've
it
seen it.
is.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I got to see it when it came through DC, right when it was started screening. So the director came and stuff. It was really, really cool. It's a
Yeah,
if you all don't, if for those that don't know who Chavela Vargas is, she was born in Costa Rica and she was queer, and so she was kind of ostracized, and so she moved to Mexico. She lived in Mexico City and became an artist there, and then eventually got ostracized as well from the scene there for various reasons, including that she had some addiction issues, and then she kind of disappeared, and everybody thought she was dead, and then she reappeared when she was like 60, and then being gay was not a big deal at that point, and so she kind of reintegrate, and they actually sent her to Spain, and that's where she got to like kind of have this rebirth, and then she was able to go back to Mexico, and this was just
Mhm.
very in her late years. So she's just an incredible interpreter of songs and has such an interesting and incredible life story. So
Oh
check out
yeah,
the documentary if you get a chance. It's really good.
highly recommended. Oh my God, I love her. Um, and she played the Llorona. If you saw the movie Frida, she's La Llorona in
Yeah.
Frida.
Well, she actually had an affair with Frida. So that was
Yeah,
another
she
part
did.
of it. Yeah. So
Storied life. So, Elena, it sounds like, because I mean, Nueva Canción genre, and I think of it as a broad genre, and including lots of things. But maybe you can speak a little bit about your other, influences because I know there's some great, the groups from Latin America, Guarda Barranco for sure, and
oh yeah.
Carlos Mejia Godoy, plus all the
Right.
poets. So I was wondering if who are your influences from Latin
Well, if I
America?
would have known I was going to have a Nicaraguan expert,
No,
I would
I'm
have
not
done
like
something a little songnica.
I'm not an expert at all.
Well, you certainly know more than most people, even Nicaraguans. Yeah, my trajectory as a musician was interesting because so I was born in the U.S. because I was born during the war, and
Hmm.
then I lived here until I was 8, and then we moved back, and I lived there, and my parents have lived there until recent because of the political situation now. But so I basically, my parents moved back in '92 when we were there, and so I grew up until I went to college. But obviously, it was very American, and so when I was there, I didn't really feel like I connected to Nicaraguan culture. Like I was really holding on to American culture. And
Hmm.
then I became a musician in the US. And then I realized that I had a responsibility to represent my culture. I was writing music, original
Hmm.
music, but in English and in Spanish. And so then I took an interest in my culture and kind of went backwards and started digging into that. As you can see, I have a marimba back here, which I bought when I went back one of the times. I brought it on an airplane. It's a very complicated story, but I did it. Um, and then and I started learning more about songnica and marimba music. Songnica is basically kind of based in de marimba, which is not like lyrical. It doesn't have lyrics, but people started taking that kind of that style of music and putting lyrics to it, and making our own Nicaraguan kind of music. And you named some of the songwriters that are most popular in Nicaragua.
Hmm.
I've shared the stage with Katia Cardenal, and and I've met the other. I've done covers of Nicaragua Nicaragüita and things like that,
Hmm.
to really like elevate and represent where I'm from, because I started realizing that in order to not appropriate myself, I needed to start from where my starting point needed to be, from where
Hmm.
I'm like my culture. That always needs to be the center of where I'm beginning,
Hmm.
and so I felt like once I kind of learned more about Nicaraguan culture and Nicaraguan genres, Nicaraguan artists, the history of music, and especially poetry. Nicaragua is much more of a
Hmm.
land of poets than it is of musicians. We do have
Hmm.
musicians, but we definitely have a really rich history of poetry. So
Hmm.
so some of that stuff really made it into my music, and I wrote a song to the poetry of Ruben Darío, for example, and I've been trying to
Hmm.
do more kind of stuff in that
Yes.
style. So
Yeah, it's beautiful because right, because poetry, especially in Latin America, I think, the poetry, so many poets, they just lend themselves to be sung,
yeah,
you know.
absolutely. I mean, Ruben Darío in particular, I don't know if you've
Hmm.
gotten to read any of his stuff, but
Sure.
he's got a very strong cadence in the
Hmm.
way that he writes. And so the song that I wrote it just came to me because it's just
Mm-hmm.
so easy, like ba ba da ba ba da ba, you know, it just has a thing to it already. He just has that musicality already built into the
Mm-hmm.
song. So I found that to be
Mm.
something that came kind of natural because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I should write something that Ruben Darío, and then I started just
Mm-hmm.
reciting one of his poems in my mind,
Right.
and the song came to me. I was like, okay, I got it. You know, went home and recorded it, wrote it down. So
That's beautiful. Right.
yeah.
You're channeling, him. Maybe for people here who don't know who Ruben Dario is, you could just talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, Ruben Darío's he was brought modernism to the Americas. He was in the 18 something.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I taught Latin American literature. So like, yeah, late 1800s to the early
yeah,
1900s. Yeah.
and I mean I know that my great grandfather like was friends with him in Spain. Like they went to study to Spain together. I mean,
Oh, wow.
Nicaragua
Yeah.
was small.
Small.
Everybody knows each other. I mean, my mom is from León, which is where Ruben Darío, kind of one of
Mm-hmm.
his hometowns. Although he spent a lot of his time abroad, but he always very much but anyway, he was a poet. He was a very big deal at that time, and he's
Mm-hmm.
a national hero in Nicaragua. It's one of those things where you see,
Mm-hmm.
the portrait of Sandino and the portrait of Ruben Darío, and those are like the national kind of heroes
Mm-hmm.
of our. That's the name of our airport and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, actually, I think they renamed the airport, but anyway, it's the name
Oh.
of our theater. It's the name of our theater.
Okay.
So anyway, so he's a really big deal, and he's still taught in schools and stuff. Unfortunately, I went to an American school, so I didn't really read too much of Ruben Dario, but
Mm-hmm.
I've done it kind of on my own in a similar way that I did the music.
Mm-hmm.
Gone back and kind of read his stuff, and
Yeah.
it's really beautiful lyricism.
It really is. I encourage everybody to, just take a deep dive into. I mean, a lot of stuff is in translation, so,
Yeah, totally.
it's a great way to learn. Uh-oh, I'm just freezing out a little bit, so I'm gonna. But actually, Elena,
Hmm.
we're kind of winding down towards the end of our session, so maybe you can speak a little bit to. You said that you have some really exciting things coming up that maybe you'd like to share with folks, and then sing the song again.
Sure. So, oof, there's a lot of things coming
Where do
up.
you begin?
So if you live in the DC area, tomorrow we are playing with my band, Elena y los Fulanos. We're playing at I sent this info because I don't know it off the top. Here it is. They're playing at Lane Manor Park at 1 p.m. It's a festival to close out Hispanic Heritage Month, which is ending right now, October 15th. It starts on September 15th. It kind of goes mid-month to mid-month. And then here that so they put the link there. And then we're also with the band that I play with, the All Mariachi group that I play with. We're going on tour starting Tuesday. We're going through California. So if you know, we're going through the whole country. We're doing the California, Texas, then coming up to New York, then going to the Midwest and ending in Colorado. It's gonna be a whole month of exciting stuff. So if you are interested in that, look up Flor de Toloache. And then lastly, we have this thing happening on PBS. We filmed um, Dia de los Muertos special in a cave in the middle of Tennessee with Los
Cool.
Lobos and Oso Matli and Flor de Toloache. And so if you want to check that out, it's going to be on October 28th is when we're going to be on TV.
Yay.
So
Awesome.
check it out and follow if you're in the DC area, follow Elena y los Fulanos. I have a website and has an email list and whatever way you'd like to. I also have a Patreon for my own stuff. So anyway, if you're interested in supporting, those are some ways to do that.
Oh, that's
But I
beautiful.
appreciate being here. It's always really nice to join the Daily Antidote, and I'm glad this worked out because I was in New York yesterday and I'm leaving on Monday. So this was like the window.
Oh, wow. You've been a busy woman.
Oh, yeah. Very busy. Very busy. I'm also planning a wedding. So, just,
Oh, your own?
yes.
Felicidades.
Thank you.
Felicidades. Felicidades.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful.
Going for a month-long tour and then getting married at the end. So
Nice. Good, 22 out the bang. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
That's so wonderful. And just thank you so much for bringing your marimba. Oh, there was a little quick question
oh
about
yeah.
what
Hmm.
is a marimba in the chat. So
Oh,
maybe you could just,
sure.
before you do the song, just maybe talk about that a little bit.
So a marimba is like a xylophone made out of wood, essentially. There are a bunch of different types of marimbas. They're from the same family as the kalimba, like the little thumb the little thumb thing.
Hmm.
And it's original. Most of the marimbas originate from Africa. This one, for example, this one comes from the balophone that was brought to the Americas through escaped enslaved people who
Hmm.
mixed with a tribe in the Masaya area of Nicaragua, the Monimbo.
Mm.
And they kind of took that formula and they adapted it to the stuff that grew in Nicaragua. So that's when they put the arc. Oh, I can't even do it. They put this arch on it.
Yep,
That
yep.
that was part of the bolophone as well.
Hmm.
But then they made it bigger. You sit on the arch, and then they changed the resonators from gourds to bamboo.
Okay.
And then they just adapted it and made it part of their own. So it's
Excellent.
different from the like Guatemalan ones because
Yeah.
it doesn't have all the keys.
Mm.
As you can see here, it's diatonic, not chromatic. And so it's only in like this one's in the key of D major. So you
Okay.
can play in two keys and that's when most of the stuff has PVC pipe. I've seen
Yeah.
that. I've seen that there's a yeah, I mean you can do it with a bunch of different things. It's just
Yeah.
kind of what you have available. But there's a certain like dirtiness to the way the marimba is done because it's got this resonator with this like skin over it and so it goes like it's very interesting. Anyway,
Love it. Well, let's go out with your song
all
and then
right.
we'll do some goodbyes.
Sounds good. Thank you everybody for joining. My name is Elena La Fulana. Let's do this song No soy de aquí ni soy de allá again. Please feel free to sing along. Oh, let's do that again. Me gusta el sol y la mujer cuando llora, las golondrinas y las malas señoras, abrir balcones y abrir las ventanas y las muchachas en abril. Me gusta el vino tanto como las flores y los amantes, pero no los señores. Me encanta ser amiga de los ladrones y las canciones en francés. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá. No tengo edad ni por venir y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá. No tengo edad ni por venir y ser feliz es mi color de identidad. Nice. I saw lots of people singing. Me gusta estar tirada siempre en la arena o en bicicleta perseguir a Manuela y todo tiempo para ver las estrellas con la amarilla en el trigal. Todos, no soy de aquí ni soy de allá, no tengo job, everybody. Very nice.
Well, thank you so much, Elena, La Fulana.
Thank you.
And please, everyone, be well. I'll sing you out. And Elena's so great. Good luck on the tour.
Muchas
And
gracias.
felicidades por la
Gracias.
boda. Qué lindo, qué lindo. All right. So I think, this is my first time hosting, so I think I just start singing goodbyes, right? Is that what we do?
Yeah.
All right. So goodbye, Arlene Baxter, Berkeley, California, and Ruth from the UK. Hope it stops getting too crazy over there with that crazy woman who's running your country right now. Okay. Busy Graham, Kevin Ennis, Dia 923. Wow, Kevin. Susan Miller, adios, Sheila. From Florida, be well. Luthen, Mark, Victoria, BC. Goodbye to the cricket. Adios. Sarah Page, Texas, bye. Beggy, bye. Fred Stolen, it's bye. Annette Piron, bye. Carolyn Boise, Lyle, me gustan tus flores. Kathy in Virginia. Everything keeps switching up there. Susan G, a colorful background there. And Delhi, adios, goodbye. Margaret, goodbye. Storm, te quiero mucho. Bob, Mabel, Bears, 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 goodbye. Nancy Ann from Maryland. Adios, Martha Wagner. Jamie Dundas, Victoria, BC. Adios. Dan Walker, Vienna, Virginia. Kathy Glatz. Adios, adios. And who else do I have here? Trish from Victoria. Hasta luego. Cat Cox, be well. And Dan, be well. And Jamie, be well. And Pauline and Tommy, be so well. And Ann in Nashville. And your little friend there too. Adios, adios. Diane Weinstein, Aloysius, Yana, Westford, Mass, goodbye. Curly Tops, goodbye, you too. Jenny Suffolk, see you later. Rosalie, to see you later. Harriet Dart, goodbye. Josie, good luck today with your aunt. And Lynn and Cliff in Vermont. Viva Vermont, yeah. Jaden, I'll say goodbye to you last. And Gary Pausner, see you later. Caroline in D.C. And Bob in Albany. And dear with the iPad, goodbye. Don't know your name, but thanks for coming. Harriet Dart, see you later. Hope I didn't miss anyone in the mix. I think I got everybody. So goodbye, 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 adios. Cuídense mucho, take care. Be well, don't forget to vote. And don't forget to sing when you vote. That's the only way I can remember anything if I sing. So keep it going, girl and guy and everybody in between. And what is that, Carol? Is that a mushroom? Que cosa? I just harvested some mushrooms from outside. Yes, get the voice out and the vote out for all who are suffering. Just love you all. Be well, be well, be well. See. Keep singing even though we gotta go. Keep on singing, 'cause singing, you know, will bring you places that you don't know.